It's a flipping nightmare. So anyway, how are you all? Hope you've all had a good day. Oh, right. It's the draw. So loads of people entered to come and work with me for the day, to spend the day with me. Either I come to you or you come to me. We do a day's tuition, or I come and do a day's work. Whatever. Basically, you get me for the day to do with me as you see fit. Plastering only, in case there's any weirdos out there. So if you win this, basically, I come and do a day's work for you. I come and work alongside with you. You can work with me. Whatever. We'll sort it out. A day's tuition. Basically, though, you get me for the day. So, for anyone just jumping on, Danny M, nice to see you, chaps. Sorry I'm late. 7 minutes past 10. This was meant to happen at 10 o'clock. I was meant to be on at 9:30, doing a little bit of an introduction, getting a few people online, and then we were going to do the live draw. But my mum's been here, and yeah, everything just takes a flipping. You just can't rush women, can you? You can't just say, right, mum, you have to go. So I was trying to be as cool about it as I possibly could, but I was like, listen, I've got to go to the workshop. I've got to go and do a Facebook. I've got to go and do a YouTube live. So anyway, what have we got here? Everyone's saying evening. We've got Mr. Arbuckle. How are you, sir? Mr. Rolls. Evening, mate. Mr. Benson. Sam Dunn. Andy Slate. Mr. Alamande, TT, how you all doing, fellas? Nice to have you all online anyway. So, anyway, there's a few of us on. I won't keep us all waiting for hours and hours. There's 25 people on. So there's enough, I think there's enough people to witness the live draw. Let's crack a can, eh? It's been a long day. Flipping heck. I've been out in Northwich today doing a little job, which for me, I'm in Ellesmere Port, so if you're not familiar with my geography, Northwich is about an hour from me, and I've ended up doing work for a builder out in Northwich, solely because my dad, when he sort of got divorced from my mum 18 years ago, he went and bought a narrowboat, and he was on the canal system for a little while, travelling around, and he ended up stopping in Northwich, made a few contacts, did a few jobs, and then he's moved on. Now, one of his contacts was a builder, Darren, who is a sterling bloke, an absolute diamond of a fella to work for, and my dad's since sort of retired, but Darren still phoned me dad for work, you see, so my dad put him on to me. Hence, every now and then I have to, well, I'd say every month or 2 months, I go up to Northwich and do a garage conversion. All this fella seems to do is garage conversions. And to be fair, do you know what? He's one of them fellas. He just phones me up, books me in for a date about 3 weeks in advance. He gives me loads and loads of notice. I turn up, the job's boarded, and it's absolutely mint. It's scrimmed up, it's beaded, all the materials are in the job for me, and he basically pays top dollar, and there's no hassle. You turn up, the job's perfect, you get paid the minute you're finished in pound notes, there you go, and he takes you to the pub for a pint, and away you go. So for fellas like that, I don't mind driving an hour out my way to go and do a job for him. He's absolutely spot on. So that's where I've been today anyway. And then I come back home. Literally, I walked in, my mum's here, the baby, my missus, and all the rest of it, and I've had to get out here, print, because I'm a last minute laddie. I've had to print all the names off, cut them all out. Here they all are. I've been cutting all these different email addresses out, so put them back in the hat there. And I've been, because usually my little helper, Aunt Isabel, last time, the last draw, he cut them all out. Wait there 1 second, someone's knocking.
I'm right here.
There she is. She's here now, but she's been busy. But anyway, come and sit down, chicken. She turned up at the last minute. But anyway, she's been busy, so I've had to do all this stuff by myself.
Mum said people are asking to enter.
Oh, shit. I didn't turn it off. Right. Listen, don't enter now. I haven't turned it off, and I can't go back into the settings to do it now. So if anybody is watching this, do not enter this draw now, because I'll have to refund you your money. It'll be a nightmare. I can do it, but if you've joined this, what time did we do this? I printed all these off at 9:45. If you've entered this draw after 9:45, I'm gonna have to refund you your money, because I can't. You're not in the draw now. Sorry. So after 9:45, check your times, because that's when I printed everything off. If you've entered after then, I'm gonna have to refund you. I forgot to do that. I need to turn it off so you can't enter no more. But anyway, without further ado, you're all here. So we've got the hat. The names are in. Let's give it a little shake. This is for who is working with me for the day. Either, give us a minute, sweetheart. Either I'm going to come to you, or you're going to come to me. We're going to have to do a day's tuition. I can tutor you for the day if you're a beginner. I can work alongside you. You can come and do a job with me. You can put me to work, whatever. Basically, the deal is you get me for the day. The winner is Danny Arbuckle at outlook.com. I don't know if you can see that. Danny Arbuckle at outlook.com. Danny, you've got me. I'm sorry, mate, but I'm coming to your house. No, only messing. Danny, I'm going to go back into the system in a minute, mate. I'm going to find your details. I'm going to give it, as soon as this live ends, I'm going to give you a little phone call, and we'll touch base and organise what is going on, whether you're coming to me for the day or I'm coming to you. But either way, Danny Arbuckle, you are the winner. Congratulations. Nice. So, now last time, we did loads of little extra prizes and stuff. We didn't let this run that long this time, so I'm going to be honest with you. To be fair, the amount of people that entered was quite a few, but it only just, I'd say it didn't really even cover what I would charge for myself for a day. But I'm a man of my word. The draw went ahead. We didn't cancel it. We didn't prolong it any further. But there's not really any spare sort of cash to be buying loads of extra prizes, unfortunately, fellas. But I'm sure we're going to do more of this in the future. But Danny Arbuckle, anyway, we'll see how this goes. We may, if it's up to Danny, we may be able to do a video with Danny. We don't know. We'll see how it goes. But anyway, Danny's the winner. Now, before I sign off and go in, because it's 10:15, I'll just read a few of these comments, and we'll just see what people are saying here. Is it too late to enter? Yeah, sorry, Sam, it's too late to enter. The Vaping Builder, evening fella. Reese Benson, first day, contracting for the local builder today. Big step up from the domestic. Spot on, Reese. Sean, enter if it's not too late. Sorry, Sean, no one enter now, it's done. Danny Arbuckle won. Don't be entering no one else. You'll cause me a headache, because I'll have to be sending you your money back. Top of the range. Adam McLaughlin. This man has helped my plastering come on tenfold. Top man, you're a legend, and never stop doing what you do, my man. Appreciate that, Adam. Spot on, my mate. Danny Arbuckle, happy days, mate. I'm not doing much at the moment as I'm off ill, but I would love to come to you for a day. Danny, we will sort it out, mate. Isn't it funny? He's commenting on here now. He's the winner, and he's commenting on the post. Danny, yeah, we'll sort that, mate. I don't know where you are. Hopefully you're not a million miles away from us. So we'll get you up for a day, mate. Come and have some breakfast, and we'll go and do a little job together. And we'll sort it out anyway. Hit the like, guys, from the bait. Yeah, give us a like, fellas. Give us a little like. Appreciate that. Jameer, big up Kirk. Jameer, I love reading your comments, mate. And Ronnie Barker as well. Have I missed a day with Captain? Oh, sorry, fellas. Listen, I've got more plans coming up in the future. I'm not going to announce them now because I haven't, because I've been ill. Let me just explain quickly to you. I've got some other plans that we're going to do quite soon. Because I've been ill, my work sort of backed up a little bit. I've opened a couple of cans of worms on a few jobs. Not my fault, but the jobs have turned into a lot bigger than what they are, so or what they were supposed to be. If you've been following me last couple of videos, you'll possibly got the gist of that. So everything has sort of consumed me time. Also, I've got a 6-month-old son. So basically, what I'm trying to say to you is I've been a little bit sort of like, you know, time short. I've got a big plan that I'm going to announce shortly, but I'm not ready to announce it yet because if I sort of say it now, it's all the back end stuff that I need to do isn't ready yet. But there is something sort of special coming soon, so I think you'll all enjoy it. I think it'll be a real big help for some of the fellas. The main thing that I wanted to try and do with this is to help people as much as I possibly can, and to give genuine help, not just like, you know, not just fluffy fairy bullshit, but really genuinely help people. So I think you'll enjoy this. But anyway, I think we've said enough. It's only been a short one. Before I sign off, if there's anything that anyone wants to say or any questions before we call it a night, because it is Tuesday after all and it's not a weekend. So if there's anything anyone would like an answer to before we go, then I'm here. I'll give it till half past. We'll have a beer together now. Daniel Greer has said, "Congratulations, Danny Arbuckle. Absolute diamond of a fella, Kirk. You'll have a ball." Interesting thing, Danny Greer is local to me. He's a plasterer that works not too far away from where I am, and we've bumped into each other at the Builders Merchants. And he has been threatening, Daniel Greer has been threatening to come for a pint with me. So, Danny Greer, I'm calling you out. You better live up to your word, mate. There's a cold one waiting for you at my local boozer whenever you're ready. Jameer Ali. Kirk, I'm plastering a big ceiling tomorrow. Feel free to join me. Lol. Yeah. Jameer, I'd love... Do you know what? I would love to come and jump in with some of you guys. Like, so we may possibly do this again. But we'll just have to see how it goes. We're going to go and do a day with Danny and see if Danny's up for having a video. He might want to just keep it private just for me and him. We'll just see. We'll see what the score is. But it'll be quite... I think if we can video it, it'll be quite a good day. Who've we got here? Adam McLaughlin. What's your recommendation for lath and plaster ceilings? Do you use straight over board or rip it down and refit new board? Adam, it all depends really on the condition of the ceiling. If it's literally hanging off, then probably take it down. But if it's quite solid, it's just got a bit of a crack in, then we'll potentially overboard it. But it depends then on if there's a cornice, if you can overboard it, if you can afford to lose the member. If not, if you've got access to above, can you get above there and clean the back of it, you know, brush it, hoover it, seal it and back plaster the laths and then skim the ceiling below. There's loads of different options. It all depends. Different situations, different options. But talking about this, I don't want to tell you too much. The potential plan that I've got quite soon will answer all these questions. It'll basically give you permanent access to me with any questions that you've got. But I don't want to say too much, not till it's all set up. But basically, I think you're going to like it anyway. The Vaping Builder. Best trowels. I use a Marshalltown. Yeah, I use Marshalltowns myself. I had a Nella plastering trowel. Thought that was fantastic. Apart from the handle, it was a Bico cork grip. And it fell apart. But trowel was lovely. Kept its shape as well. Tie is actually a nice trowel. But the blade's curved. So when you're trying to use the toe, you don't get a nice, you know, when you're using the toe for going down margins, it curved it out. That's the only thing I had against ties like trowels. Other than that, I actually preferred the handle position further down the trowel. But anyway. Danny Greer. It's a date, my mate. Yeah, Danny, come and join me for the pint. Trowels at dawn, lol. Ronnie Barker. Andrew McIntosh. I've got a lovely little 20-meter ceiling to do tomorrow. That's doable, Andrew. That's doable, that, mate. You'd be golden on that. Ronnie Barker, Danny takes some Ribbeners for kids on your day of Kirk. Yeah. So what Ronnie's talking about, Danny, is Kieran, my young apprentice. He doesn't drink. He's a complete teetotal. Doesn't drink. Doesn't smoke. I mean, I don't smoke either, but he's a proper staunch teetotaler. So he likes his Ribena. He likes his juice. Danny Arbuckle, I prefer the cider though after work. West Country boy, aren't I? West Country, where actually are you, Danny? Where have I got to come to, mate? Or where are you coming from? Adam, one more thing. You're one of the only people that can say my surname correct. That, mate. Do you know what, mate? It's funny, isn't it? I'm a proper little bookworm. When I was in school, though, I got flipping like D's and all that for English, and my handwriting's horrendous. But one thing I've found is when I actually applied myself to it, I'm quite good at reading. My pronunciation of words is quite good. Let's have a look. Chris Swan, quality work round the pipes earlier. I would have had them covered in plaster. Danny, Bristol. He's a Bristol boy. Right, okay, mate. If you're coming down here, mate, no argy-bargy, all right? You're coming as my guest, so don't be coming down here kicking off Arbuckle. Quality work around them pipes, I would have... Yeah, Chris, I'll tell you what, that was a bit of a pain in the backside of a job, that. You've seen the video on it where the customer took all the tiles off and we plastered in behind the pipes. So, basically, I've worked for this fellow in the past, and he told me this video that the last video I uploaded, the bloke, I've worked for him, Ian, nice fellow, works on the docks. He's a supervisor at the docks, taking all the containers off the ships. And he phoned me up. He said, Kirk, I'm in the utility room. It's basically one wall and two little nibs. He said, I'm just going to take the tiles off. Can you pop in and skim it, just the bottom half of the walls, tidy it up, Yeah, no worries, I'll sort it for you, mate. So, there was no sort of price mentioned. We just agreed that I'll go and do it and bill him for it. And when I got there, we had all those pipes to get round, and there was like holes at the bottom where there were central heating pipes showing. And not only had he scraped the tile adhesive off, he'd also scraped the top layer of finish off, which just exposed the bone dry sand and cement, which, if anyone has skimmed over sand and cement that's been on for a couple of years, it's absolutely horrendous. You usually put it on and your plaster just basically cracks all over and curls up like little quavers and drops off because it's that dry. So we had to drown it in SBO. Well, you've seen the video, didn't you? But yeah, it didn't make it easy for us. And then there was all them pipes to get in round the edge. Just makes it a bit more interesting. So I got there and I thought, oh, sod it. We're here for a while now. Let's make a video. So hence, you got the video for it. Let's see. Any more little comments? Guys, there's 45 people online now. Do us a favour, fellas. If you enjoy my content, just I just want to see, right, how many people will genuinely just help a brother out. Give this a like now. Just hit the little like button. There's 45 people watching, so let's just see if we get those little thumbs up to 45. Just to help me out. Just see if it works. Let's just see if YouTube helps the algorithm a little bit. Get me more views. Tom, where are you based, bud? So, Tom, I am in a lovely little town called Ellesmere Port. So I'm just between, you've got Liverpool and Chester, and I'm basically situated right in the middle of there, quite strategically well placed, to be fair. So my little town that isn't very well heard of, we have a massive oil refinery here. We supply the country with most of the petrol and diesel. Also got Vauxhall Motors, so There's another plant in Luton, but we make most of the your Vauxhall cars. What else have we got? Encirc. We do all your bottling in Ellesmere Port. So pretty much any beer that you're drinking, any sort of bottled beer that you're drinking is bottled near us in a place called Elton, which is just down the road. Funny story, actually. The plant was built by an Irish fella, and he didn't have planning permission to build it, and they were threatening to tear it down. And he basically said, I employ so many thousand people, tear it down if you want, and all these people would be jobless. So the council just let him off. He built a factory with no planning permission, they let him off, and it's called Encirc, and we bottle all your beer there. We've also got Urenco, which is like a nuclear plant where we enrich uranium that fires power stations and goes all over the world. So yeah, quite a busy little place, Ellesmere Port. We did a lot more stuff. It was like a big manufacturing town, and a lot of the manufacturing, a lot of the steel, Robertson Thanes and that, they've all gone now. So it's sort of a bit of a derelict place now, but there's still a lot of manufacturing going on. You okay? Sorry. Oh, Isabel's making some. She's only 11, bless her. She looks about 18, but she's only 11. So she's just making some funny noises over here. I'm just making sure she's still alive, basically. Let's see what comments we've got here. The vaping builder. Don't you use PVA or just SBR? So, I'm not one of these fellas that sort of will be pigeonholed. I will use PVA in certain... Turn that heater off for us, love. I always do this. I put the heater on, it gets too hot. I will use PVA in certain situations and SBR in certain situations. Depends what we're doing. So, I'll also use the grits, you know, be it Thistle Bondit, Becto Contact Blue Grit. What else is there? There's a load of different sealers and primers that you can use. And given whatever situation I find myself in, yeah, I'll use a different sealer depending on what we need, what we're doing. Chris Swan, am I the only one? The only one what, mate, called Chris Swan? I actually, you know what, Chris Swan? I don't know who you are, mate, but I know a Chris Swan who's a builder near me in Ellesmere Port. I'm assuming that you're not him. But you may possibly be him, so let me know if you are a builder in Ellesmere Port, mate. Tom Gotcha was just wondering near what port. Yeah, Ronnie Barker, Cheshire Oaks, where the gangsters shop. Ronnie, Cheshire Oaks from my house. How long does it take to walk to Cheshire Oaks as well? If you house now, how long would it take you to walk to Cheshire Oaks?
About 3 minutes.
There you go. We are literally 3 minutes away. My 11-year-old daughter can hop, skip, and jump and land in Cheshire Oaks car park. And how often does your dad go to Cheshire Oaks?
Not very often.
Never. I've got no need. Look, I've got design. I designed them myself. They're covered in SBR and finish. It's all I ever wear. I am basically what my kids refer to as a rich tramp. I've got plenty of money, but I just look like I haven't got none. All I do is work. What have we got here? Adam McLaughlin. Guys, look, we're on 50 people watching and still only 34 little thumbs up. For the fellas that have put the thumbs up, I knew I could count on you. For those that haven't, you're just watching. You're like little peeping toms, aren't you? Hey, come on. Give me a little thumbs up. What's the matter with you? Adam McLaughlin, couldn't shop is down a bear crate to use a hop up, please, then, mate. Beer crate to use as a hop up. I don't know what you're saying there, Adam. I don't know if I'm not reading it properly or if you wrote it in your own lingo. Oh, ship. Couldn't ship us down a beer crate to use as a hop up then, please, mate. Yeah, I'll put one in the post for you, mate. Michael Dix, best plastering videos on YouTube, pal. Appreciate that, mate. Thank you very much. I'll try my best for you. If any of you don't know my story, to be fair, the videos that I make, I'm basically trying to video and catalogue as much of my working life as I see, sort of possible, without making it too boring, just so that my young 6-month-old son, if he decides that he ever wants to pick up a trowel in years to come, if I'm too old to teach him at the time when he decides, that he can look back and he can see my, all my little tutorial lessons. So all of my videos are pretty much mainly directed for the young fella, when he's of age. But it is nice that you guys are watching them and getting stuff from them. And also, the more of you that watch them, seems like, YouTube give me a few quid, so that's quite nice as well. So all in all, it's a win-win for everyone, isn't it, to be fair? And I enjoy doing little things like this as well, so it's all good. Oh, Chris, for the like button. Yes. Fair dues, mate. Oh, we're up to 40 likes. Fair dues. That's gone a bit better. That's fair dues. Thanks, fellas. Hey, listen, appreciate it all. Thank you very much for the likes. We'll see if now I've got loads of likes, if YouTube bumps me up the algorithm and I get more views on my videos for a change. Chris Swan, no, he's a plasterer in Scotland. Okay, so you're not the Chris Swan I thought you was, Chris, which is a good thing, actually, because I'm not that keen of the Chris. Doesn't matter. I'm not going to start slagging no one off. Just went over my first Artex ceiling with a magic mix. Didn't go too badly. Tom, yes, the magic mix. I don't personally do the magic mix, mate. I've heard about it. I know what it is. I never called it magic. Someone else did put a bit of bonding in the finish and come up with the term magic mix. Suppose it's a good little name for it. Glad it worked for you, mate. G2020. Have you ever used a Ritmo or other machine or plans on getting one? Sorry, I'm burping. Have you ever used a Ritmo or other machine, or do you have plans on getting one? I'll be honest with you. No. I did consider it. Ryan Hill from the Plasterers One Stop Shop a while ago used to have a little bit of a chat to Ryan behind the scenes, and I helped him with his sort of like his Nella trials and stuff. We had a little, anyway, I won't go into that. Ryan Hill's a great fella, so if you ever want any stuff, if you're interested in machines, contact Ryan Hill at Plasterers One Stop Shop. He's down south. He's actually a top fella, and he plays rugby as well, which is a man's game, so I like him even more for that. And he likes a bit of shotgun shooting as well. He's a great bloke. But yeah, he sells all the plastering machines. Me personally, I considered it, and for me, no, I don't want to use machines. And I'll tell you for the reason being, one, I've got nowhere to park it for a start. I can't fit it through my garden gate to get it in my workshop. I have got a council garage, but little people in the middle of the night with balaclavas on seem to like to let themselves in there and take stuff. So it's not where I live. The council garage is away. And basically I've been robbed from there 2 or 3 times. So I don't want to go and buy a plastering machine and store it because it'll probably just get nicked. That's one reason. So I'm making an excuse because I could find a way. I could store it somewhere safe. That's one reason. Second reason is it costs a fortune. And once I've invested in it, then I've got to sort of make it pay for itself. Now, the thing is, I don't want to be tied down with just doing external rendering jobs day in, day out, because you're weather dependent. I love plastering because of the variety. One week I'm patching up for, after electricians. Then I'm doing stuff for window fitters, fixing things after them. Then I'm doing Mrs. Jones's living room ceiling with 2 bacon butties. Then I'm doing a K-Ren job. Then I'm dry lining an extension. Then I'm doing a job for my mate who's a builder, doing a new build. I mean, you'll probably see, I potentially will be on Channel 4 soon. If any of you guys seen the video before last, you'll have seen my mate Wayne Jones, the builder, WT Jones Joinery. He's doing a job in Little Sutton, not far from me at the minute. And it's going to feature on a show called Worst House in the Street, which is a Channel 4 show. And they basically say the worst house in the street, the most run down. I mean, this thing, if you see it on the video, you'll see it's got like grass growing on the roof and everything. It's completely cabbaged. And he's taking that and he's going to turn it into the best house in the street. And I'll depending how busy I am at the time, if I can help him out, he's one of my good mates, I'll potentially be doing all the plastering on that. So you may see me on that. But this is the thing, I like the variety of plastering. And if I got a machine, then I'd have to be using it to make it pay, for the thousands of pounds that they cost. I'd have to be doing, mono jobs day in, day out. And I don't really want to tie myself into that. So, no, I'm quite happy hand applying a lot of the stuff. It's a bit harder work, but, I sort of need hard work to keep this beer tank at bay. Sorry, I'm just going back through some of the comments here. Ronnie Barker, what's your thoughts on a Q&A with Captain Senior and Captain Younger? So, I'm assuming when you say Captain Younger, you're talking about Kieran and not me little 6-month-old son. So, yeah, we could have Kieran in. I'll be honest with you, Kieran's a little bit camera shy. I mean, some of the lives that I've done, you end up with, there could be 100 people watching, which is fine because I'm just talking to a little screen here. But when you sort of look at the number, the amount of people watching, there's 58 people at present. I mean, some people get a little bit nervous talking to a crowd, whereas I wouldn't say I'm overly confident, but I don't really panic too much with public speaking. Whereas Kieran doesn't like it. He doesn't like the camera in his face. I've tried to film him a little bit, and he genuinely, he just doesn't like it. So I don't want to make the lad feel awkward. If he's up for it, then it will do it. Adam McLaughlin, if I ever move house, might have to get you to come and help me skim the whole thing. Adam, listen, I'll come to wherever you are, mate. You get the readies out, son, and I'll be there. Eddie Gilks, I've tried time and time again to buy you a beer. I put it in my details, then it asks me again and again. It doesn't go through. Explain how, Kirk. Keep the videos coming, top man. Eddie, listen, mate. Don't worry about it. I appreciate you trying. To be fair, like it's a look. When you guys see me videos and I say at the end, like, buy me a beer if you want. It genuinely just is. If you guys want, there's no obligation whatsoever. And if you do, it's a thank you very much. I don't spend it all on beer, by the way. I'd be an absolute raving pisshead if I did. I mean, my missus would probably say I am, but talking of beer. But basically, I think I can't test the app. Basically, when you click the link, when you go into the description, it actually says "Buy me a coffee." You click on that, and then I don't know. It's supposed to be really straightforward, and it takes £3. I set it to the very, very minimum. So if you wanted to show your appreciation and buy me a beer, it should just only take £3 plus. I think there's a little service charge of about 20 or 30p. I don't know. There's no obligations to do it though, mate. But I appreciate you trying. But don't worry about it. It's not the end of the world, is it? I'll have a beer with you in person, mate. Come and meet up with me one day. Darren Clayton, do you use plasterboard lifter? Yes, I've got a plasterboard lifter, and I call it Kieran. No, mate. I did loads and loads of site work, and board lifters are fantastic bits of kit. I've seen them used. I personally don't use them only because you sort of get into a mindset of how fast you need to get things done, and they just seem to, I might be wrong, they seem to take too long. You've got to set them up and all that. What I tend to do is, if I'm boarding ceilings, even on my own, I'll just get up, knock a 6-inch nail into the wall plate, about 3/4 of an inch down, and I'll just hold then. I'll pick the 8x4 up, slot it in above the nail, and then start tacking it up. So I don't use a board lifter. I can literally, my old fella actually made me board a ceiling with no board lifter and no nails in. I had to be able to put 8x4s up by myself, with your head, one-handed, with your screws. Well, we had to do it with nails, actually. My old fella made me do it with clout nails at first. You get your clout nails and hold them and then knock them in and work your way around. So I can actually board ceilings, nailing them up and screwing them without any body or any tool. I mean, it's not, I'm not recommending you do this. I don't do it now. I couldn't think of anything worse, but it is possible to board ceilings on your own without any sort of assistance. But no, if I'm boarding ceilings, mate, I like to have me and the lad, And what we tend to do is we have like a little system. So I'll cut the boards. The pair of us will offer it up to the ceiling. We'll get it in position. I'll tack it. I'll put 4 screws in it. And then I'll get down and start cutting the next board. And whilst I'm cutting it, he screws it all up. And by the time he's screwed it all up, we're ready to go again. And that's how we just work through it. But yeah, I would get a board lift. I'm in my little truck at the minute. I haven't got no space for one, so let's have a look. Yeah, Chris Swan, plus your apprentice will lose the machine. I tell you what, mate, you're flipping spot on. Young Kieran, right? He's almost like a son to me. I mean, I am very fond of the lad, but flipping heck, I don't know if it's because he's got ADHD or flipping whatever other things he's got, but he loses everything. It doesn't matter what it is. I say to him, listen, take a tool out the toolbox, use it, place it back. It's that simple. Whenever you finish anything, wash it off and put it back. I've lost tape measures, knives, spatulas, you name it, all the little important things, flat brushes, small tools. There's things missing now. If I go to my toolbox now, what was it I wanted to do? My tape measure, my little pink tape measure that I've had for about 10 years. I specifically bought a pink one because no one would pinch it because it's pink. It's gone. Kieran, where's my tape measure gone? He doesn't know. I haven't lost it for 10 years. Kieran's been here for 2 years. Anyway, I'm not knocking him. But things disappear all the time. And then we go back to jobs. I'll get repeat work and I'll go back and they'll go, oh, you left this here last time. Oh, it's a bucket trowel. I wonder who left the bucket trowel here, kid. You know, when you wash everything out and you put everything away whilst I'm troweling up. And there's a bucket trowel being found in the back garden. Oh, it wasn't me. Forget it. Tom, looking forward to that programme then, bud. You'll have to give us all a heads up when it's airing. I know, I'll be honest, mate. The one that Danny's just won now, working with me for the day or working alongside me or what, I don't know what Danny's going to choose yet. Whatever he decides he wants me to do. Danny Arbuckle, right, who's just won this, might decide that he's got a job in and it's a couple of £100 and he just sends me to go and do it and he just gets the money. I don't know what he's going to do with me. But because I haven't been very well, and because my jobs are sort of backed up because I've had a bit of stuff going on, I haven't had much time. The baby, I don't want to bore you, but because of all this stuff, I haven't had much time to be promoting this as much as what I wanted to. I wanted to really put this out there and promote it as much as possible because I wanted to get enough money in to be able to give a load of prizes away as well, but just haven't had time. I've just really been not under the weather. I've just been trying to keep on top of everything, and I've literally fell behind with so much stuff. I've got a list as long as my arm of jobs that I need to price up, stuff I need to do with my account. Literally, there's loads and loads of things. I've still got stuff I need to send off for the last winners. Literally, I've messaged them all. They all know the score. Every day I go to bed and there must be a list of about 20 things I still need to do. We'll get it. We'll get there. We will get there. Positivity. We just keep going. The vaping builder, bloody electricians, always making a mess of walls, chasing out. Bloody annoying. Yeah. Well, I like to give the sparks a little bit of stick, to be fair, and I sort of I don't tell many people this. I can get away with giving electricians a load of stick. We know that there's a bit of a rivalry between electricians and builders, and it's quite funny because I go on jobs and they've had electricians in and they've said, oh, we've had to do that, we've had to do this, and and they sort of they can pull the wool over the customer's eyes. But what a lot of people don't know is my old fellow was a plasterer. I was forced to do it, but I actually went to college when I was 16 and did my City and Guilds 236 Part 1 and 2 as an electrician. Now, I never want to work as an electrician. I did do, but I don't now. But what a lot of sparks don't know is that when I turn up on the job, they're telling me what they've had to do, but they don't know. I know their game inside out. So I've got a City and Guild. Well, I'm trained as an electrician. shall we say. I'm not a practicing spark, and I never want to be, but, you know, I can do the job, so it's very hard for them to pull the wool over my eyes, and they're quite surprised when I start telling them better ways of doing their job. They're sort of like, oh, hang on a minute. What have we got here now? Oh, Ronnie Barker, father and son, I meant, mate. Yeah, well, we'll get little Kirk on the show. Soon as he can walk. Soon as he can walk, he'll be plastering. Saying that, mate, do you know what? I'm saying as soon as he can walk, he'll be plastering. I don't know. I love plastering, but I know for a fact, I mean, I'll be honest with you, plastering for me, I love it. I love the physical side of it. I love the hard graft, even though when you watch my videos, I don't graft too hard, you know, but shh, don't tell me, missus. I always crack on like I've had a hell of a day. But I love the fact that I'm in different places all the time. I'm dealing with different people. Plastering for me is the best job in the world. You know, every day I'm somewhere different. I pretty much pick what I want to get paid. We're always doing something different. Yeah, I just like it. I like working hard. You know, coming home after the hard day's graft, having a pint, having something to eat, and just relaxing. It feels nice doing physical work. Would I want my son to do it? I don't know. There's definitely easier, less stressful ways of making money. All I'll say is, I'm never not in work. Never. Me and my missus, I've been on holiday. We've been for meals. And she'll tell you this, we're in these places, you know, we're in a restaurant, we're entertaining guests, we've got family with us. Behind us on the other table, someone recognises me and they're like, oh, Kirk, we've got a job coming up there, you know, and straight away, I have to just go, right, sound, yeah, you know, and you're swapping details, and you're always generating more work, so you never get to switch off. Some people that I know, you know, they finish work at 5 o'clock and that's it. The phone gets turned off and that's the end of the job. They don't give it a second thought until the next day they go back. Whereas I could be sat here now, like what time? It's nearly 11 o'clock, so I don't use it. But I do sometimes get like messages through at this time of night, people asking about, you know, jobs. I mean, you don't get to switch off self-employed, do you? So would I want my son to do it? I don't know. He's not going to be brought up soft, I'll tell you that. My daughters have been very spoilt, me girls, like. And I like treating them like little princesses, giving them everything. I don't think that's beneficial for a young fella, though. I think, to be fair, you know, young men need to be taught to be survivors. They need to be able to go out into the world and make their own way, you know. Being sort of like a little mummy and daddy's boy, having everything handed to him, he's a little spoilt brat when he's older, is not going to be the best sort of route to take with him. So he probably won't get brought up similar to how my daughter's been brought up. I like them sort of being accustomed to a love. I mean, Ron's here with me now, so I can't say too much, but I like my daughters to sort of be accustomed to a nice lifestyle where they're treated lovely all the time. Because I like the thought that if... how can I explain this without sounding horrible? Right, here's my thinking on it. If I was horrible to my daughters and they were sort of, I didn't give them much money and I was mean to them and, you know, just not a good guy, they become accustomed to that and used to it. They go out into the real world themselves. They get, you know, you set them free, and they meet a bloke, and because they've been used to that of me, they accept it from him. And then they're with a family that's mean to them or doesn't give them more. So I purposely have spoilt my daughters, and I'm super nice to them because I want them to not accept anything less. Now, I'm not trying to say I'm trying to create little gold diggers, but how many times, I'm using like hyperbole now, but how many times you heard of a woman comes out of an abusive relationship with a bloke that used to beat her up and she jumps straight into another abusive relationship because she's become accustomed to it. It's almost like, you know, it's acceptable. Go off on a tangent. We're talking about plastering. Let's move on before I get myself in trouble. Danny, be good to get on a rendering job with you. To be fair, mate, reckon I could learn a lot. Well, that's what we will make happen, Danny. That will happen, mate. You can. I've got a few different rendering jobs, so you can pick which one you want to come on. Gino, hi Kirk. Do you remember Surefire B? No, I don't, mate. I don't. When I started plastering, it was all. I used to mix up by hand. We used to mix drywall adhesive by hand in a big bathtub on site. I only ended up using sand and cement because my dad's old school, so I used to go and do weekend work with my dad and use sand and cement. But all the likes of car lights and stuff like that, I never got a chance to use it. I only used car light finish in the lockdown when we couldn't get multi and board finish. But that, what did you call it there? Sure, I don't know how to pronounce it properly, mate, but no, I never got a chance to use it. I've used lime finish. I mean, once you've got the skills with your hands, it doesn't take you much to pretty much use anything, really. It's just different techniques, but it's the skill really is putting it on the wall, isn't it? Let's have a look. Sorry, guys, lifters are so good. By BB5M, yeah. Sure. So Gino, I think it's pronounced Surefire, or I don't know how to pronounce it, mate. But no, I've never used it, mate. It was before my time. I'm only 30. How old am I?
36.
36. I'm only 36, mate. I was born in 1986. Luke W, cheers for the vids, mate. Genuinely really helpful. I'm glad I can help you, mate. I'm glad you like them. Andrew Barraclough. Hi, mate. I've been asked to board over the skim in a conservatory that spans the back of a house. How would you finish off around what was outside windows and doors? Would you use thin strips of board? I'd have to see a picture to know exactly what you mean, mate. I'll tell you one thing you can get, though. There's beads, if this helps you. There is beads that clip over the end of a plasterboard. So you imagine if you cut a board in half, that rough edge that you've got, there's actually a bead that clips on the board and gives you a nice, clean edge for that. It goes right about, bounds right round the edge. So literally, if you had a plasterboard and you had to sit it sort of on top of a door case in there was no space to reveal. It was literally the board just stopped there, and then it was like, you know, the door open and close. You could put that nice clean. You know what I'm trying to say, don't you? Send me some pictures, mate. Go on the description in the channel and get me email address. Send me some pictures of what you're saying, and I'll do my best to try and help you. Jimmy's Building Services. Just get yourself a bucket for those small tools and use. You will find it hard to lose your tools. Another good vid earlier, bud. Cheers, Jimmy. Vinnie Johnson. I'm on the books, 33k a year before tax. Could I earn more self-employed? Vinnie, this is Vinnie Johnson. Let's just read this again clearly. I'm on the books, 33 grand a year before tax. Could I earn more self-employed? Vinnie, all I'm going to say to you is, very soon, I'm going to do something new. And I think you'll like this, mate, because what I'm basically going to do is take... I don't want to tell you too much because it's going to spoil the surprise. But Vinnie, the short answer is yes, mate. Yes, you can earn. I'm not joking you, Vinnie. You can earn double that. Easy. Double. And I'm going to help you do it. Trust me, you be sound, mate. Now, I'm not going too into detail with it, but yes, you can definitely earn more than 33 grand a year if you're self-employed, mate. The best way to think of your money is, mate, divide it into days. So if you're on, where's my calculator here now? If you're on 33,000 a year divided by 48 is £687 a week. Divide that by 5 equals £137.50 a day. £137.50 a day, mate, is what that works out at if you're doing 48 weeks a year and you're only doing 5 days a week. There's no reason why you shouldn't easily double that, mate. Easily double it. we could probably get up to £300 a day, to be honest with you, mate, quite easily. You've just got to learn how to sort of work it to your advantage. You don't want to be going around, I'm not advertising, ripping people off, but there's ways of making a lot more money, mate. Yeah, definitely. So, look, if you work for someone else, mate, you ain't ever going to get loads and loads of money. You might have a comfortable life. But if you're working for someone else, they want to make the money. That's the reason. You aren't working for them because they want to just help you make sure your family's fed. And as much as they say it, how many bosses say, I just do it for the lads. I just do it to keep the lads in work. Yeah, all right, mate. Trust me, if you're working for someone else, mate, cards in, then they are definitely making money off you. You're doing the work and they're making the profit and you're getting a wage out of it. Now, that's fine. That's great. I mean, as I get older in life and I want less stress, that might be an avenue for me. So I'm not knocking anybody that does that. So, you are paid in relation to how much stress you can handle. That's basically it. The more stress you can take away from somebody else, the more you increase your value and your wages go up. And that's the top and tail of it. When you're working for someone else, mate, you turn up at 8 o'clock, you do your job, you go home, you switch your phone off, that's the end of it. So the stress is fairly minimum. You might get a bit of stick in the day. The more you sort of take on by yourself, the more the stress goes up, but the more money you make, and eventually, you could be earning as much as you possibly can. You sort of like cap out at a certain amount where you really can't charge anymore, but then you start sending lads out to do jobs for you and you're making a bit of money off them. It's more stress because you've got to deal with more men. You've got, when you start sending lads out, you've got their problems to take into account. When you employ men, let me tell you this. You think you're going to be a plastering boss, but you're not. You end up being a marriage counsellor, Alcoholics Anonymous, a flipping guidance counsellor. There's so much involved with sort of looking after other blokes because all their problems come with them, which is fine. That's just part and parcel of it. But you're taking on all that stress. So hence, because you're taking on more stress, you get paid more money for it. It's basically, if there's no stress, there's no money. It's unfortunate, but it just goes hand in hand. But definitely, mate, yeah. Without much more stress, you can definitely increase that 33k a year. You can definitely get that right up without having to take on much more stress. Not too much more anyway. It's when you want to start getting above like the 80 grand mark that things really start to get quite hot at the top. Obviously, I'm not going to start talking too much about wages because my old friends from HMRC I'll be probably watching me like this now. Come on, Kirk, reveal something. Where you hiding your cash? Listen, I'm probably on less than you, mate. I only earn about 10 grand a year. Let's have a look. Jimmy's building the services. Your other live video you done when your little man came in at the end, causing trouble. Going to give you the runaround for a few years, mate. He's a little rascal. I love the bones of him, mate. Do you know what the fantastic thing as well? I got flipping 3 fantastic daughters. They're all amazing. They're all like my missus. They're all absolutely golden. And it's like having 4 mums for my little son. He's spoiled rotten at the minute. So, Ronnie Barker, your dad and you, I meant, mate. Different sides of when he started. Oh, right, Ronnie, yes. Yeah. Get me dad in for the Q&A. Flipping it, mate. Never thought of that before. That could be dangerous doing that live. That could be very dangerous. So, yeah, I love the bones of me dad, but getting him on, I don't know. We might have to do a Q&A where people can send questions in for him, and I sort of record his answers, and that way he can have 2 or 3 shots at it, to sort of give what can we say, a politically correct, non-incriminating, flipping non-embarrassing answer. I'm one of them guys. I am quite good at thinking before it comes out, I can think quite quick before it comes out the pie hole. My dad, I mean, I'm not saying he can't think that fast. He probably just doesn't care what he says. But, yeah. PDC Darts Daily. Hey up, Kirk. How's it going, pal? I hope you're all okay. Spot on, mate. Do you know what, mate? I'll be honest with you. It's 11 o'clock. All you boys are in work tomorrow, no doubt, so I don't want to start dragging this out all night. So I'm going to have to call it a day soon. But I'm very good. Thank you very much, mate. I'll tell you what I'm going to do, fellas. I'm going to blitz through these comments now. We'll get to the bottom and we'll call it a night. I'm going to finish this can. I'm going to put a bit of music on and I'm going to call it a night. Now, as I said to you last time, when I had the live, I'll give you a little insight into some of the music I listened to. Within 2 minutes of me ending the live stream, YouTube basically sent me a notification instantly saying my video was banned in Russia for the music. I don't know why. I mean, the Russians aren't allowed to watch my YouTube videos apparently when there's music in it. And they demonetized it straight away. And when I actually looked what the live had sort of made up until that point, it made about 15 quid with only a couple of minutes, so it was doing quite well. And then they switched me off because I got done for copyright because I played music in it. So I didn't get in trouble. I just didn't make any money off the video. So in case you guys are wondering, when you're watching this video now, I don't think I get any money for this. I don't think YouTube are going to give me anything for you guys watching this now. But the replay of this, if people watch the replay and there's a few adverts, and they watch the adverts or they watch a little, basically I get paid every time you get forced to watch an advert. I get a little cut of the money. Now I don't like adverts, and I wouldn't care if it's for free. I wouldn't. I'll do these videos for nothing. It doesn't make a difference to me. But YouTube still put the adverts on my videos, whether I like it or not. And the fact is, I've got the opportunity to get some of that money. Whether I take the money or not, they still put the adverts on, so you still have to endure them. So yeah, on the replay, I'll make money from this as long as I don't play my music again. If I play the music, then YouTube keep the money. I don't get none of it. Right, anyway, I'll stop waffling. Let's just get through these questions quick, and then we'll call it a night. I'll finish my beer and leave you in peace. Alexander Cole. Why do you have a Trump plate? Right, okay, so in my little yeah, mate, I've got, if you can see up here, I've got all these little plates from all different places all around the world. When Kieran, my apprentice, goes travelling, which I told him to do, told him it's one thing I wish I'd done when I was younger, was to go and see a bit of the world before. As we all know, fellas, when you get older, life gets you by your bollocks, and before you know it, you've got bills to pay, you've got kids to feed, you've got mortgages, cars, and all these things, and you can't really just up and go. So I said to Kieran, he's 18, 19, I said, listen, son, before life gets you, go and see the world. You'll always have a job with me. Go to Thailand, go to Australia, go all around Europe, go on little holidays, and wherever he goes, he gets me these little plates. The Trump plate. He went to New York. He went to the Trump Tower. He got me everywhere he goes. He brings me one of these back as a little souvenir for me, and that's why I've got them. Now, I said to Kieran, if you go travelling and you decide you like it there, you could go for 6 months. I said, don't worry, mate. You'll always have a job with me when you come back. It was just my little way of trying to be a good guy. I'm just trying to do right by the lad. I would love it in the future if he comes back to me and says, Kirk, you give me a chance. You give me a trade. You told me to go travelling. You taught me about saving money. I'm trying to give I don't want to say too much. I don't want to embarrass him or anything, in case anyone watches his back. He said it himself in a video, so I don't think I'm being out of turn. I don't think I'm being out of turn in saying this, because he's already said this himself on camera for you guys. Kieran's old fella, his dad, didn't really stick around for him, So Kieran will tell you himself, his dad wasn't interested in him, left him, and I sort of feel that now he's with me, obliged to give him a bit of guidance in life. So, just doing what I can to help a lad out, So that's where the Trump plate come from. He went to New York. Now, a little side thing. I know some people don't like him. That's fine. I personally like Donald Trump for the fact that he speaks his mind, Now, whether you like what he says or not, I like the fact that the fella's got the balls to tell you what he thinks and what he wants to do. I can't stand slimy politicians, so I actually don't mind Trump. Everyone said he was going to press the button, he was going to cause World War III, but the fact of the matter was, he was the only US president not to start a war, I think, ever. I think every other one started a war apart from him, so... But anyway, I'm not a big flipping political person anyway. I just think he's quite funny. He's got crazy hair as well, hasn't he? So I like mad people. That was a long answer for a quick question, wasn't it? So I'm sorry, guys. Where else are we? Oh, listen as well. You might not agree with me, and that's fine. I've got three mates that I would genuinely die for. And you know what? We don't agree. The four of us, I mean, they don't really know each other that well, but the four, we don't agree on much. And they're my best mates, and I'd die for them. Just stuff that we don't agree on. You don't have to agree on absolutely everything to get along with someone or to like someone. It's good to have different viewpoints. I mean, you can challenge each other, you can bounce ideas off each other. I mean, everyone thinks that you have to be like all lovey-dovey with and agree on everything with everyone, but nah. Not. I'll disagree with you, even if I agree, just to be awkward. David Abraham. Good on you, fella, saying about your daughters and not wanting them to go with bad blokes. You really do seem like a nice bloke who adores his family. Fair play, mate. Mate, thank you very much. I love the bones of my daughters. And now I genuinely want them to be of decent fellas, but I do know the nature of women as well. And it doesn't matter how good the fella is. You know for a fact that a woman's going to find faults with him. So I nag him to death until he explodes, and then they'll be roused, and they'll be back home crying, he's done this, he said this, and that. They're only kids now, but I know the nature of the women. I know how it's going to pan out. I'll do my own assessments of whether they're any good or not, you know. The only thing I'll ever say with daughters is, if you hit them, you'll be in trouble. I'll find you. What was it? What was it? A film. I've acquired a certain set of skills. Toby Beswick, thanks for all the great tips. Been doing this for a few months now and starting to get things dialed in. Love standing back and looking at a finished room, what used to be brickwork. Yeah, job satisfaction, mate. And we're the best in the trade at it. Remember this, boys, plasterers, we are the golden boys. There's no better job satisfaction than when you turn around and look at some of the work you produce. I mean, joiners turn up with the bits of wood, don't they? Plumbers turn up with the pipes, electricians with the cables. They've got all it ready to do and they just have to put it in place. We turn up with bags of dust and buckets of water and look at the magic we make with it. It's the most satisfying job in the world, being a plasterer. Yeah, Ronnie Barker, we got there in the end. Yeah, we did, mate. We're on the same page now. Okay, I'll pin the old fella down. I'll have to apply him with some alcohol and get some answers out of him. Come on then, let us know what you're doing tomorrow then. Tomorrow, I'm back on the nightmare of a job where we're taking all the Tudor cladding out. That's not actually cladding. It's actually Tudor flipping boards that are built into the brickwork. Absolute nightmare. Can of worms job. I was meant to just go and take the front of a building, take the render off it, just on the front elevation. It's a massive building, but the front elevation is like a little bit that sticks out. It's got Tudor cladding on it and like what looks like lime render, but it wasn't, it was cement. Chop that off, take the Tudor cladding off, and then basically Tyrolean it and Tyrolean over all the sandstone and stuff at the bottom. But it turns out that the Tudor cladding is actually in the brickwork. It's not structural, but when I'm taking it out, there's like a 3-inch setback in the brickwork that I'm now having to get Kieran to cut bricks in half and brick them up bit by bit, loads of wall ties, and it's just taking forever. The Tudor cladding doesn't come out because it's nailed every 5 courses. Every 5 courses, there's 6 nails, big 9-inch spikes through it, and the dovetailed in as well. It's pitch pine, so it's rock hard. It doesn't snap, it doesn't split. You can hit it with an axe, it doesn't crack. It's just horrendous. We're having to drill millions of holes in it. We're like little termites making those little holes in it to try and get this stuff out. And it is coming out, but it basically takes one man a day to get like one length off. So what was meant to be a 2-day job stripping out, we've now been on it, you know, over a week, and we're not even anywhere close to having it stripped out yet. We've then got to fill all the channels back up with brickwork again before we can start sand and cementing. Now, the little the exciting bits as well is the bay window, the massive bay window, is fixed to the cladding because they've had new windows, and the window fitters fixed it to the cladding, not to the brickwork. And the same with the third floor window. So now we're having to take the windows back. Oh, I'm a plasterer, but you take these jobs on, the customers are sort of looking to me for like guidance. So, I mean, I can do it. It's not a problem. It's just taking a lot longer than I expected. And I could sort of sub it out, but it's one of those jobs because it's not a standard sort of regular sort of protocol. I can't just send people there to do it. I need to sort of be there to supervise it, because if anything goes wrong, it's all on my head. So I have to sort of be there to make sure it happens. Fortunately, the people whose house it is, absolutely lovely people. The lady's family are friends of my family from years ago. They've got enough money to pay for the extras of what it's going to be, so that's not an issue. But I can't really film on the job. They're very private people. You know, they've got a nice big place. They've got, you know, that the house is set in a lot of land, but they're very private. They appreciate, you know, privacy, security, and I could potentially press them to let me film there, and I could probably sort of twist an arm and have them sort of say it's okay, but I know they wouldn't be comfortable with it, so I would rather not press it, you know. So that's why you haven't seen many videos of me lately, because I've been sort of stuck there doing that. Tom, good night, lad. Yep, good night, God bless, mate. Drinking the bleach was a bit daft. Well, I don't know who drank bleach. Don't know what's going on there, Chris Swan. I don't know who's been drinking bleach. Carl Stewart, role model is the term you're looking for, and I reckon you're a good one, mate. Thank you, Carl. The only problem is with me, mate, is I probably enjoy the beers a little bit too much, but fortunately Kieran is a teetotaler, so I've actually tried to lead him astray, but he just won't drink, so it's a good thing, I suppose. Around and still have the drive to get out and get a trade and not on the rock and roll. Good on him. Do you know what, mate? Thanks, Jimmy. He's actually the most punctual man that has ever worked alongside me. If I said to Kieran, be at my house at 8 o'clock, he'll be outside my gate. This is no word of a lie. He did this and it blew my mind. I can see across the court from my children's bedroom window. I can see across the sort of street where Kieran would come from. And I told him to be at my house for 7 a.m. once when he first started. 7 a.m. I said be there for. And it was getting about 5 to 7. So I was looking out the window for him. And I just stayed there looking. And there was no show. No show. No show. And I thought, he's got literally 30 seconds before 7 a.m. and he's going to be late. And at exactly 7 o'clock on the dot, the gate opened and he come in my back garden. And I said to him, I was looking out the window, mate. Where did you come from? Because I was looking out the window where you were walking from, and you weren't there. And you know what? He had been there for 20 minutes. He was 20 minutes early. He come to me back gate. He didn't come in. He was 20 minutes early. He waited at me gate. And as soon as the clock struck 7, he come in. So I couldn't see him because he stood behind me gate. I mean, obviously now he just comes in, doesn't he? Makes himself a brew and stuff. But how was that for punctuality? Flipping early and waited. What a lad. True humanity. Hey, great, sweet, beautiful, love man. Tell me how to speak English. You're doing a good job of it, mate. What is the life and definition of your point of view? Okay, mate, so I think the best way of answering that is, mate, that life's hard for the man. We've got to go out there, we've got to make our impression on the world as best as we can. We've got to provide and protect for those that are under our care, mate. So if you've got a family, these are my views on life. If you're a man, you should look after, provide for and protect the people in your care, and that's the top and tail of it for me. And if you're going to do something, do it as very best as you possibly can. So my way of making money is plastering. I don't want to be a plasterer. I want to be the plasterer. So I literally have tried I'm getting a bit bored of it now after 20 odd years, but I've tried to become the very best and the most knowledged. I've tried the most knowledged. It's not even a way of saying it. I've tried to educate myself as much as possible on the subject, to learn as much as I possibly can. Because if you're going to do it, I may as well immerse myself in it. Yeah, that's it. Do the best you possibly can at whatever you're doing, and look after those around you. Andy, hello Kirk. Hope you're well, buddy. Any tips for marriage, lol? I get married Thursday. Andy, congratulations, mate. Congratulations. Thursday, flipping heck. Only a couple of days to go. You can still escape now, Andy. I'm only joking. My tip for marriage. My tip would be, if you plan on getting married, mate, my tip would be, understand that women think differently to men. That's my tip for you, mate. Predominantly, now there's always an exception to the rule. There's always an exception to the rule, but that doesn't prove it. But predominantly, men think logically, and predominantly women think emotionally. Now, that's not to say that men haven't got emotion, and it's not to say that women haven't got logic. But once you understand that, I understand that my missus will act out a lot of the time, and she will put her viewpoint across, and she will want to push for something, how she feels about a situation, rather than me looking at it logically saying, okay, we've got to buy this, we need to do this, we need to tighten our belts here, we can't afford to go on holiday, we can't afford to do this, we need to save up for this. I'm just using this as an example. She was like, no, because she feels that she wants a holiday for the kids. So we can disagree there, but it's what she's looking at it from an emotional point of view, how she feels about it, and I'm looking from a logical point of view. So women come from the heart, men come from the mind, usually. So I would say, key to a happy marriage, understand your missus, understand how she works, mate, how she ticks. And another little thing as well, mate, I'm sure you already know this. Anyone out there getting with get into a relationship in that first, couple of months and what have you, straight off the bat, analyse how your partner deals with their family and close friends. So if you've got a girl that's screaming down the phone to her mum and dad, effing and blinding at them, calling them all, causing trouble for them and all that sort of caper, or she's falling out of her mates constantly and causing loads of, just volatile, causing commotion everywhere, be aware that's how she's going to treat you very soon. If she can take a bit of adversity, a bit of stick, difficult situations, and she still smiles and deals with people gracefully, well, fantastic, because that's how she'll deal with you as well. So just watch how they act. Darren, I thought off at 10:30. I know, Daz, I'm going. I'm flipping going, mate. David, there's two more. No one write another comment. This is it now. David Abraham. Kirk, mate, you're the top man, but you need to bin off the Fosters for some real ale, mate. 5% plus. Dave, so I get whatever she buys, mate. My missus gets me different beers all the time. Sometimes I'll have Fosters, sometimes I'll have Stellas, I'll have Peroni, Moretti, Budweiser, you name it. When she goes shopping, mate, she just gets me a little surprise. So it's like a variety is the spice of life, isn't it? I must admit, though, I have lately, for the last 2 years, I've been struggling with a little bit of I've still got a bit of a chest infection. I've been struggling with a little bit of acid reflux, and I find that the stronger lagers really kick it off. So the Fosters, because it's quite weak, I mean, it's like gnat's piss. Doesn't, I don't even drink to get drunk, to be honest with you. I just like having a cold beer after work. I could literally, that can has been with me since when I come in at 10 o'clock. It's an hour and a half, and it's only about there. I'm not, I don't drink to get pissed. I just like to have a beer, in my hand. Jimmy's Building Services. Time for you to go. I need to go to bed. Good night. Jimmy, couldn't put it better myself. Good night, God bless, guys. Danny Arbuckle, if you're still watching, Danny, I'm not going to phone you now, mate, because it's 11:30, but we will touch base tomorrow. All right, mate. Fellas, I love yous. Thanks a lot. Ciao. How do we turn this off? It's every single time the little X doesn't come up to turn it off. Hey? That there?
I think so.
All right. Oh, Danny's just commented. Okay, makes that happen. There, right. So I found it now. The X button's there. So this is one more. Can I ask if you use extra time additive in your mixes? Thanks, Michael. No, I don't, mate. No, I don't use extra time, mate. I've got loads of it, but I don't use it. In fact, look, there's some here. There's extras. I've got it. I never really found the need to use it, mate. Right. Ciao. It's gone off.
Yeah.
Be sure you want to stop streaming.